Welcome to week 1 of the spooky season sew along. I'm so excited to be making this quilt with you. You should all hopefully have your kit that looks like this. Should have come to you in the mail by now. And so we are going to dive right in. In week 1, we're going to unbox our kit and do some sorting of our fabrics because we need to make sure that we have them ready for all of the following weeks. So this is just kind of our prep week to get everything ready so that the rest is smooth sailing. So let's go ahead and open this up. First of all, how cute is this box, right? I love the little detail. And then when you open it, you're going to find the pattern. There's also a coupon for quilting services, so hold on to this because you can send your quilt in at the end to be machine quilted by us here at Missouri Star, and this will give you 10% off on that quilting. And then we are going to have our pack of 10-inch squares. I do want to point out that the pack that comes in this kit has been exclusively curated to make this quilt that you see here. So it is only in the kit. Even if you buy this same collection from us here at Missouri Star, it's going to have similar fabrics but different numbers of each. I've specifically curated this so that I can get the right shades to make the quilt you see, right behind me, exactly like it is. So we're going to have that, and then we're going to have our pre-cut pre-fused applique shapes. You can see it comes in a package like this. These are all of the fun little details, the bats, the cattails, the words, all of that is in this pack here. This is also exclusive to the kit, so you're going to be really happy that you joined in and got your hands on this because this is a huge time saver. Then we also have our binding. These are the binding strips. Your border yardage, which is this fun spider web, and then our background fabric. And so that's everything that's in the kit. Let's go ahead and start sorting. Okay, so like I mentioned, we are going to start our sorting. So when you open up the pattern on the first page, it will say week 1 sort. And then it's going to tell you to get some gallon bags, and you're going to label them week 2 cat blocks, week 3 pumpkin blocks, week 4 haunted house, candy corn. And you can see I have all 5 of those bags ready, weeks 2 through 6, and I have my labels on there so I know what they apply to. And so I've done that already and have it ready to go. And then now it tells us individually by week what we need to put in each bag. So one thing to keep in mind is your pack of 10-inch squares comes in order of the fabric listed in the pattern. So the top piece is A, the second print is B. And so that's why there's not a diagram in here. It's just in order already. So don't shuffle it up, keep it how it is. And then let's go ahead and begin our sorting. So in week 2, we know we need 1 fabric A square. So that's this right here, and I can just set this on the pile for week 2. And then we need 1 fabric B square. And I'm just going to put that there. Now I see I have another fabric B, so now I'm going to jump and I'm going to see where else I need fabric B. And it looks like I need 2 of my fabric B squares in week 4. So I'm going to take those, I'm going to put those on the pile for week 4. So now we're going to go to fabric C. We're just going to do the same thing, 1 in week 2. Then I have 1 more, 1 in week 4. There we go. And then we're just going to continue on through our pack. I do want to point out in our stack of 10-inch squares, there is not a fabric D, and that's because we've taken that and turned it into pre-cut pre-fused shapes already. And so you're going to skip from C to E. So like these cats that I see here now, that is fabric E. And we're just going to finish sorting this, and I'll meet you right back here. All right, so as you can see here, we have sorted all of our 10-inch squares, and we still have a completely empty week 6. That is accurate. If you have this, you've done it right. Week 6 is our applique. And so let's go ahead and open up our pre-cut pre-fused shapes. And it comes in a package like this. You can see they're just all kind of stacked on top of each other. But I want to be sure and show you kind of how this works if you're not familiar with this product. So to begin, we have some cattails, and you can imagine all of those cattails are going to be on the week that we make the cats. So I'm going to start by pulling those out because they're already separated. So I have those 3 right here, and those go on week 2, and you'll notice that they coordinate with the squares that we put there. And so that's another way to kind of triple check and make sure you've got it right. And then you'll notice some of these pieces are stuck together like this. And in theory, it's so we don't lose the shapes that go together, but you're just going to grab some little snips, some scissors, or even your rotary cutter, whatever you're most comfortable with. And there's just little places where the fabric is still there that you want to snip apart so that you can get these shapes separated. And some of them I'm going to separate now, and some of them, like the words, I'm going to wait to separate those until we get to the part where we're going to sew those down, just because I don't want them to get bent up. But I'm going to cut apart this bat right here for you to see. There we go. And so then you can see your shape is all cut out and ready for you, and it has some paper on the backing. And so just like any iron-on applique, you can just kind of crease this and it will have the paper pop off, and it leaves the adhesive on the back of the fabric. And so don't do that now. I just wanted you to understand how it works. But I'm going to go ahead and clip these apart and follow along with my pattern and sort all of my applique pieces. All right, all of our applique pieces are sorted. You can see we have a few on week 2, week 3, week 4, no applique week 5, and a bunch for week 6. So now I'm going to use my magic rotary cutter, and we're just going to put all of these pieces in their bag. All right, so that's a little magic for you. Now, from this point, you can either set these aside and just wait to start sewing for week 2, but my own little personal tip is to go ahead and get your background fabrics cut and sorted each week as well. It will save you a lot of time as you get to the week, and if you're taking the time now to sort and prepare, you might as well get that background fabric cut as well. So for that, you will need to turn into the actual weeks themselves in the pattern. It will say from the background fabric and list out the cuts that you need to make. So I'm going to go ahead and take the time to get all of those ready, add them to my bags, and we will be ready to sew along starting in week 2. All right, you can see I've added all of my background pieces to my weekly bags, but let's go ahead and go through those cuts that I made so I can tell you what I've put here. In this week 2, we just have one 5-inch strip. And then in week 3, this is where you have the most cutting overall. We have one 6.5-inch strip, one 4.5-inch strip, one 4-inch strip, one 2.25-inch strip, and 12 1.5-inch strips. That's all I did. You're going to subcut that later, but just having those initial strips cut is super helpful. Then we're going to move on to week 4. And for that, you're going to need one 5-inch strip and one 4.5-inch strip. And then you also need one 2.5-inch strip. And so that's what I've put here in week 4. Then for week 5, you need two 4.5-inch strips for that week. So that's what I have in here. I do want to mention on this week, if you have the small simple wedge template, this is going to make your life much easier. And so you can order that now, or there is the diagram for it within the pattern itself, so you can just make a paper template if you want, but this does help, so I'm going to add that to week 5. So then for week 6, you're going to cut one 7.5-inch strip, one 5-inch strip, one 4.5-inch strip, one 3 3/4-inch strip, and 6, sorry I lost it there, 6 2.5-inch strips to add to your applique. And those are the pieces that we're going to use for the sashing and setting it all together in the end. So now you have everything ready. We are finished with week 1 and we will be all set to go for week 2 when we start making our cat blocks. So I will see you then. Hey everyone, it's Misty. Thanks for watching at home. If you aren't already a part of our Missouri Star family, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell if you want a notification every time we release a new video. I'll see you next Monday on the newest episode of At Home.